Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another week of distance learning. These weeks are starting to wind down now. We're getting in the last few weeks before summer. It's crazy hard to believe. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what you're looking at in terms of your assignments for this week. So first of all, don't forget to be checking your announcements feed. That's the feed that comes on as soon as you enter Google Classroom. For anything that's important, like links for Zoom, this video is going to get posted there, as well as along with the video, I'm also going to be posting this presentation, which is called Remote Learning at Home Scavenger Hunt Bad and Good Slides Example. Because what I want you guys to take a look at, one of the things I've noticed as you are working on some of your slideshows for this project is some of us are not quite sure on how to make sure we're meeting the requirements so that we can get all of the points. So I've posted this slideshow, or I'm going to be posting this slideshow in the announcements section so that you can kind of look through it when you have the opportunity to do so. And please take that time because it goes through and shows you the first few slides here, created by Lazy Larry, they go through and give you examples of what slides would look like that maybe would not receive full credit, or maybe would not even receive any credit at all if I were to be grading your project. And you really want to make sure that you're getting credit on this project, because remember, as we talked about, this is a 100-point project, and that is something that could make or break your grade. And for a lot of you, it could be the thing that helps you to make sure that you pass. So these slides, I'm not going to go through them in detail right now, but these first few slides right here, if you walk through them and you read through them, you'll notice down here actually that there are some descriptions of why these are examples of bad slides, slides that would not get a good grade. So each one of these slides has a description down here that if you read that, it will explain to you why these are examples of bad slides. That goes through for at least, you have another slide here. Here's the description down here that you would read. This slide here, the description down here that you would read. And then one more, this one right here, the description down here that you would read as to why these are examples of bad slides. Then on the flip side, if you continue on looking through the presentation, you're going to see examples of what we would be looking for in terms of good slides. In other words, if you follow all the directions and your slides look similar to these, you're looking at getting full points for your slides. So there are a few that we have examples of that. Same thing, each one of these also has a description down here at the bottom that if you read it, it'll explain to you in detail why these are examples of well done slides. So there are a few of those as well. So you're welcome to go through and read the description down here at the bottom for each one of these. You can put them in presentation mode in order to look at them better too, so that you can see what they look like in presentation mode, because that would be the way that we would normally be viewing your presentation. But all of these have that same pattern, only they are good slides. And then this last slide here just kind of walks you through some things that you want to keep in mind when you're making presentations. What a good presentation should and should not have. There's also some links here that you're welcome to access for more information. So again, I will be attaching this along with the video that I'm making right now in the announcements section. So you'll have access to that. You'll look at that to really make sure you're getting some help on creating your Google Slides presentation in a manner that's going to allow you to get all of the points. That being said, if you want more specific feedback on Wednesday's Zoom meeting, for anybody who comes to the Zoom meeting on Wednesday, I will be actually going through this presentation in more detail and really walking through with you guys what the difference is between good slides and bad slides. And apparently my Google decided it was a good time to sign out right in the middle of what I was talking about. It's just like being in class where we get to have technical difficulties no matter what we're doing. Okay, so going away from that and back to what you guys are doing for this week. So again, if you want to see more about this, tune in to Zoom on Wednesday at 11 o'clock. As far as your assignments for this week, though, let's take a look back here at Google Classroom. So remember, for my assignments, I want to look at the classwork section. And don't forget, these are being posted two different ways. So let me go to the student view for you there. That's period 6. That is not going back for you guys. So let's go here. So we'll look at period 1. So period 1 is the same as period 3, 4, and 5 as well. If I go to my classwork section, remember there are two ways that I can view my assignments. Remember, I'm posting it both ways. So again, I know I've said this, but I'll say it again. Don't forget that just because the assignments are posted more than once does not mean you have to complete them more than once. As long as you've completed an assignment one time, that is more than enough. You are welcome to ignore the second posting. So again, they are posted here in the regular classwork stream. You can go through and access them that way. Or you remember you can always go over to this all topics section and click on them week by week. So this is the week for May 18th. And if I go through the week of May 18th, I will see my work that's assigned for this week. So as always, that starts off with our attendance form that you'll click on and do the attendance here. Again, you only have to fill that form out once a week, ladies and gentlemen, once a week. That is all that is necessary. Then scrolling down, your weekly agendas are here. You're welcome to open and access either one of those for 2 different ways that you can look at and view the assignments for the week. And as far as the actual assignments, this week, instead of doing a quick write, you'll notice as you go through Monday's material, and it reminds you to be, always double checking your agenda each day. You're also going to be completing an assignment here called Letter to Mrs. Hong. So last week marked Mrs. Hong's last day with us as a student teacher. Friday was it for her. Now she's on to bigger and better things. She gets to take a nice break before she starts applying for jobs and looking to be a teacher in her own classroom. So what I'm asking you guys to do is via this attached Google Slide presentation. So if I click on the assignment here, under that Your Work section is where I'll find my copy of that. If I open up this Google Slides presentation, you will find the directions for the assignment. And you guys are basically going to be writing her a letter. And your letter is going to be telling her thank you. It's going to be providing her with some advice as she moves on to becoming a teacher in her own classroom. You will follow the directions that are on the next slide, read through them carefully, and then you are welcome to do this letter one of 2 ways. On the next slide, you can either use that slide and just kind of like delete the information and add your information in. Or if you want to use the blank slide instead and just kind of do your letter from scratch, but following the directions that are prompted, you're welcome to do it that way as well. So this is one option here. I can use this slide here that already has information typed for me and then just kind of fill them with my information. So it says, Dear Mrs. Hong, and then it says write 3 sentences minimum describing the activities or characteristics of Mrs. Hong that made her teaching our class a wonderful experience. So again, one option is I can just highlight this and then delete it and change it and add in my information. So this is where I would maybe start typing. I would say Mrs. Hong had such a sweet and kind personality. And then I would write my sentences there. And you will notice for each one of these, it says 3 sentences minimum. So do make sure for each paragraph you are writing 3 sentences minimum. The next one tells you what you're supposed to write, 3 sentences minimum describing the activities or characteristics of a good teacher that would be helpful for Mrs. Hong to know. So this is where you're going to give her some advice, like what are some of the things that your teachers do that you really enjoy. Maybe those are things you want to suggest to her to kind of keep in mind when she has her own classroom. And then your conclusion, this is the only one you'll notice, is a 1 sentence minimum instead of 3 sentences minimum. Your conclusion is just going to be, 1 sentence or more if you want to write more, where you communicate just how enjoyable it was to have her in the class with us and the time that she spent with us at Upland Junior. And then sincerely, and then right here where it says your name goes here, again, if you're using this one, you would delete this and type in your name. So if I'm Stan Smith, I would type in Stan Smith. Okay, so that's one option of how you could do the letter, or if you would prefer, you can go here and simply, after Mrs. Hong's name, press enter, tab over, and start writing your paragraphs this way. But if you do choose to use this blank slide, make sure that if you do that you come back here and that you are following the prompts that were on this page. Okay, that you're following the directions for each paragraph so you don't leave anything out. And then the last direction tells you that when you're all done, whichever one of these you ended up writing your letter on, you're going to delete the other one. So if I chose to write my letter on this one, then I'm going to delete this slide. I'm going to delete this slide. And the only one that should be left is the one that's actually the letter to Mrs. Hong, because I'm going to be sharing these with her, and I would like to just be able to share your letters with her, not any of the direction slides or any of the leftover slides. Okay, so that's what you're doing instead of your quick write this week. So that will be your assignment for Monday. So if I back out of here and go back to the work for the week, you'll see as we scroll down and we get past that letter to Mrs. Hong, when you come to Tuesday, and you'll notice it's going to be the same thing for most of the week. It's just you are going to be continuing to work on your remote learning at home scavenger hunt project, the one that was posted last week on Tuesday. So we're not really assigning any additional work, no actively learn, nothing like that. The only thing that's really different and new this week is that letter to Mrs. Hong. And of course, not different and new, but additional would be on Wednesday. As you scroll down, do not forget to be doing your iReady. Okay, iReady 30 minutes a week. That doesn't change from week to week. That stays consistent and the same. But you'll notice as you look at Thursday and as you look at Friday, Thursday is just a continuation of making sure that you're continuing to work on that scavenger hunt project. And then Friday, as always, is just a reminder to make sure that you're using the day to get caught up on all of your work for the week. And this is a reminder of all the things that were assigned for the week that you need to make sure that you have done. And we do remind you 7 slides a week. If you're doing at least 7 slides a week, that will help you to make sure that you meet your goal to have this project done on time. Because remember, it is due by the 31st, no later. And that's pretty much it for the week. That pretty much covers anything. So again, these are your assignments for the week. Only a couple new things because you're continuing that project for the next few weeks until the 31st when it is due. And again, don't forget to come to the stream because the stream is one of the places I will be posting this video as well as a copy of that presentation that I showed you a little bit earlier, the one that goes through and talks about good slides and bad slides in order to kind of help you as you're working on that presentation. That about covers it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have a wonderful week. I hope to see you guys on Wednesday. Otherwise, I will talk to you later. Bye-bye for now.